Hi everybody, my name is Francois. For today's webinar, we will be focusing on data collaboration and we will look at how to access, share and communicate with each other with the data that we see on the reports. For today's purposes, I've already created this report here. I call this the Financial Cash Manager. So the purpose of this report is to give you an overview of what is happening with your cash flow in your business. So as you can see, I've got 4 sheets in here: your cash summary, AR overdue, and your AP overdue. And what I'm going to do now is, after the report has been created, I would like to publish it to the web now. So in other words, I want to make it into a cloud environment. So I, as a developer, am completed with the report, it's signed off, and I'm going to publish it to the web. So first things first that you always need to keep in consideration is to ensure that you're logged in with the correct credentials. So over here, I'm logged in with my credentials and I'm on the correct tenant in the About IT Group tenant. How you will know that if you're logged in, you can always click in the right-hand side, top right-hand side corner, and you'll see your name will reflect there. The second step is to click on this nice little button here in the share category that says publish. Hover over it, will give a pop-up, and it will say publish this report to the Power BI on the web, which will, in general, just publish it to the Power BI portal. So before you can publish it to the Power BI portal, you have to make sure that you have the adequate or the correct workspace whereby this report can lie in. So I'm going to navigate to the Power BI workspace, and then I'm going to explain to you all the Power BI portal and create a workspace for this report. Now, the first things first is to access the portal. It's very simple. You can use the Microsoft portal that they have given and created for end users. You can simply search Power BI, and then you can look for the Power BI sign link. Now, when you say you already have an account, yes, I do, I can sign in. Once you've signed in, you can see that I've already signed in with a few accounts. I can choose the relevant one. Please always make sure that the account you're signing in is matching the account that you sign in on your report, or your developer, or your desktop version. So I'm going to click on my name. I'm going to enter my password. Now I can say I do not want to stay signed in because I'm going to do another thing just now for everyone to see. So when you log into Power BI, it will take you straight to your My Workspace. Your My Workspace is just your personal one where you can load your own reports and play around with. But in this case, I want to create a workspace for my whole team within the Office 365 tenants or Office 365 environment at my company. So if I click on Workspaces, you'll see that there are various test cases that we've developed for today. But for today's purposes, I'm going to be working with the demo dash workspace. Now, I've already created this workspace whereby that cash manager report is going to be lying in. But if you want to create your own workspace, it's very simple. You're going to click on the workspaces there, on the arrow, it will open it up, and you can click on Create App Workspace. Very simple. You can simply just say, create a workspace. So now we can add a nice picture if you'd like. You can give it a name and a description. And when you're done, it's as simple as saying save. And then when you've created it within your Power BI portal environment, you can go back to your desktop version whereby the report gets created. Now, when I click on the publish, it will show me all my workspaces that I've just looked at in the portal. So then if I choose demo dashboards and I choose select, it's going to say there's already a data set with that name because I've already saved it there. So let's say I've made changes to this report and I want to publish it. I want to override with the latest version. So I can say replace it. And then this is solely dependent on the size of the report and your internet speed. If it's 100 meg and you've got a 1 meg line, it's going to take quite a while to upload. But if you've got a fast internet and the file's not so big, it will take rather quickly to upload. So all we do now is we just wait for it to publish to the web, and it should take a few more seconds. And as soon as it's done, it should give you a nice tick sign like that. Great success. Now I can say I've got it, and now I can just minimize it. Now when I go to my portal, always keep in mind that you just have to refresh your page as your internet browser always catches the latest old information. So now when I go to my workspace, I can see demo dashboard workspace, and I can go to reports, and over here I can see my cash summary. So I'm just going to choose the first one. And now my report is in the cloud. So what does this mean now for me as a developer or an end user? It means that I can access this report anywhere now. It's not lying on my laptop specifically as a desktop version as I did here, and I can start consuming it here. It's in the cloud. So that brings us to the next step, is by sharing it with various people. So a few things we first have to keep in mind is, the first one is to work with the rights that you allocate to the certain users. In About IT, we've got 3 access right types. We've got developer rights, intermediate rights, and end user rights. The developer rights, such as I can access anything in this report or in the portal. I can click on file as an example on the top, and I can download the file. I can edit it in the desktop. I can publish it to the web. So I can create links and I can link it and people can access it through the browser. And then, of course, I can also edit the reports. I can edit it in the cloud as well. And also, very important thing we have to keep in consideration is you can pin to the live dashboards. So I can create various tiles. So I can take this block and maybe a few other metrics or visualizations from the other sheets and create my own dashboard on main items I would like to analyze. Now comes the question, how do I allocate these rights? So for today's test purposes, I'm going to be using Jillian as a test subject, and I'm going to allocate Jillian to this workspace. But I'm not going to give her admin rights. I'm going to give her intermediate rights, or just member rights, as Power BI calls it. So on your demo dashboards, you'll see those 3 little dots. You can click on more, and you can say Edit Workspace. It will take you back to this page, and over here is where you can start allocating. So as you can see, Jillian is not included here. So I'm going to add Jillian to this workspace now. You can search it, and it will already go through a whole directory of your workspace or your Office 365 environment, and it will pick up her name. And then there she is, and then I can say add. And once she's added, I can decide what she is in terms of rights. Is she an admin like me, or just a member? She's just a member. We refer to the member as an intermediate rights. But also keep in mind that you can apply another right factor to it, is members can only view Power BI content or they can edit it. So Jillian won't be able to download the file, but she can edit the report on the cloud environment. I do not want the members to do that. We only want the admins or the developers to do that. I'm going to give her, she can only view the Power BI content. Now when I say save, it's as simple as that, and now she will have rights towards this workspace with all the reports in that workspace. Okay, how am I going to see this now? So first thing is first, I'm going to log out, and I'm going to log in with her credentials. Just always wait for you to say that you're signed out. And now when I log in, I can see that I'm in Jillian's account. And first, what you can notice is it takes you to the homepage, and it will give you a nice good morning, and it will tell you exactly what's happening. And I can see that she's already added to this workspace. But let's say she was added to multiple workspaces, and she can't just keep track every single time on her homepage. She can go to her workspaces. And currently we can see she's added to 2 workspaces in the business environment, or within our Office 365 environment. So there is the nice demo dashboards workspace that I've just added her to, and now she can click on it. And she can see that there's a dashboard for her, and she can see all the reports that have been allocated to her. So bear in mind that when you add someone to the workspace, they will have access to all the reports and all the dashboards within that workspace. However, there is another way in Power BI, is by using apps, which I'm going to explain to you after this. Apps is just for the end user. You can allocate certain reports just for certain users to see and consume. So I want to go to this report here, the Batch Manager that we just added. And now Jillian will see exactly what I saw. Except if you notice, there's a few changes here now. On the top, there's a few hashed out click icons or draw through icons. And first things first, I removed that rights of her to be able to edit the report. So she won't be able to edit the report. Very important, she won't be able to create her own dashboards, unfortunately. Leave it for the developers to create the dashboard, get the full requirement, and then the end user can just consume and use the report. And also, when I clicked on File, you'll notice that she doesn't have the option to download or publish to web anymore. So that would mean she will not be able to download this file and make changes herself, which makes it very easier for the developers to maintain the version control of the reports, and that the end users will only use it for insights and analysis. Okay, however, she can still export to PDF and to PowerPoint. So technically what Gillian can do now is she can use all the reports within this workspace. So if there were not just the cash manager, you can see there's a CFO, there's a debtors true aging, there's procurement and everything within here that she'd like to use. Also what she does, she also has full capabilities of the reports interactivity. So if she clicks on the bars, the figures will change and so on. You can also go through to the various pages and start using and analyzing the data. So that is concerning the intermediate access rights. The next access rights that I want to show is just the end user, is by creating the app. So in order to do that, I need to be logged in as an administrator or developer user. So I'm just going to log out again. And I'm going to log in with my account. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to that demo dashboard workspace. And I'm going to click on reports. And as you can see, my visual also looks way different than what Gillian looked like. You'll see there's this little extra header here that says include app. So when you publish an app, you can decide which reports needs to be in the app. So that when Gillian had intermediate rights, she could see all the reports. But I do not want her to use all the reports. I only want Gillian to see the cash manager. With Power BI, it's very simple. It's as simple as just unticking it. And I also do not want her to see the dashboard. She's an end user. I only want her to see the cash manager in the app that I'm going to create. Now it's very simple. Yet again, I can click on publish app. So this is where I can give it a name. So I'm going to give this app a name. I'm going to call it the cash manager, or maybe I should just call it the financial reports. You can give it a description. So I'm just going to call it this app will contain all reports for understanding financial. And now I can upload a nice photo if I want. I can change the color. Maybe Gillian would like the nice maroon. I can give it the maroon. It will color scheme it for you. And perhaps let's maybe just keep it standard on the blue. Now the navigation. Now, because I said including app, because that tick was only for Cash Manager, this is the only report that's going to show in here. So if I were to include more, it would show more reports. So I'm happy with this. New navigation bar builder. So this is a new update within the Power BI environment. Very, very nice. And I can see that there's a report link if she wants to send it to someone. And hide from navigation. No, I do want to see this in the navigation. Now, the next step in creating the app is allocating the permissions. So you can create the app, but not everyone can go download it. So first thing is first, I'm going to go and I'm going to say Gillian. And I'm going to choose Gillian over there. And now I can add her to the app workspace. Then I can decide what they can do or interact with the app. So I can allow users to connect to the app's underlying datasets by using the build permission, or they can allow users to make a copy of the reports in the app. I do not want to make a copy, otherwise they'll be able to download it. I only want them to take the underlying dataset. What that means, if there's a table within the report, they can download that into Excel and analyze further. Now that I'm happy with everything set, the setup, navigation, and Gillian has been added, I can say publish app. Before I publish app, also bear in mind that if you want to choose specific individuals or group, you can also choose the entire organization. A nice way of publishing apps is, let's say I as a developer created a nice timesheet report as an example, and it worked for me, and I want everybody to use it. They can see how to interact with their timesheets. I can also say entire organization. And then when you publish it, they'll be able to download the app. So let's publish this app now for Gillian. And I'm going to publish it, and it says it takes about 5 to 10 minutes. But from my experience, it's very quick. It's much faster than that. And then it's published. There it's done. Now, from my point of view, this is what I would see. Is go to the app, and now we're just waiting for it to build the app. Just take a few seconds, let's just give it some time, and voila. This is what I would see as an end user. And this is what Gillian would see only if she did not have access to the workspace, but only to the application. It's very nicely summarized. If there were more reports that I said include in app, it would show you. Let's say I wanted to see sales, wanted to see CFO, I wanted to see debtors aging, and so on. It would include it. What Power BI has done now is they've categorized it based on page. So now I can go to my cash summary, I can go to overdue, aging, my debtors, and then of course my creditors. So let's log in. I'm going to remove the rights for Gillian on the workspace so that I can log in with Gillian and see how it would look like if she were to download the app. So I'm just going to go back to Power BI homepage. I'm going to go back to the workspaces. I'm going to say edit. And this is also a nice example of showing how easy it is to remove and gain and give access to relevant team members. And I'm going to say remove access, delete. Just wait for the save button to load. This is doing quite a few things in the back end to ensure that this will happen. And I can say save. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to log in as Gillian. It's just very much easier for me to explain from a developer's point of view and an end user's point of view by logging in and displaying it to everybody. I'm going to log in with Gillian again. I'm going to type a password. Now, when you see, I'm going to go to the workspaces, and you can see it's gone now. Now, Gillian has no more access to the demo dashboards. Now she's going to be like, okay, but Francois, I still want to see the cash manager report. It's very important for me. And I can tell her, look, Gillian, I'm going to give you access to the reports through an app, but I don't want you to access all the other reports because maybe there's some confidential reports there. Maybe there's reports for other people that not everybody would like to see. So now she can go to apps, and now you can see she doesn't have any apps yet. But Francois just created an app for her. She can say get apps. And now it's just going to load. And by default, it will always be on my organization. And now I can tell Gillian, there you go, Gillian. There's your financial reports app I just created. And now within this app, I know that the cash manager is in there. Now I can say get it now. And now we just wait for it to download. And there it is. Now when Gillian goes and she can see, oh, okay, there it is. It's created today by Francois Marie. And now I want to click on it. And exactly what I saw, Gillian is going to see now. So this makes it a lot easier to maintain reports through apps for relevant users within your organization. To give you a nice example, if I were to go to my apps, and this was my organization. So Gillian is, let's just say she's a very big director of the business, and she wants to see financial reports, she wants to see HR reports, and she wants to see development timesheet reports. I can create apps for all those relevant workspaces or from those workspaces. So all that Gillian has to do at the end of the day is just come to an apps. And if she says, Francois, I also want the CFO dashboard, or I want the debtors aging dashboard, can you include it? All I have to do is simply go to the workspace and tick that box that says include app. And when Gillian logs in again, it will display. So those are the three rights that we have allocated here in terms of Power BI. So I'm just going to summarize it. It's the developer rights, which means like administrator, they can create the report, they can publish it to the cloud, and they can download it, and they can make quite a lot of changes to the portal itself. Intermediate is I will give you rights to the workspace, so you can consume all the reports in the workspace, but you won't be able to download it or create your own dashboard. And then thirdly is the end user rights, whereby you can create the apps so that they can only see relevant reports from the workspace. Okay, so that is concerning how you can access and share your reports. Another thing that I just want to mention to everybody is in order to share reports, you will require a pro license. If Gillian did not have a pro license, this is the message that you would see. So all I did here was I clicked on my workspaces and I clicked on demo dashboards, and this is the pop-up Power BI gave me. It told me this feature is only available to users with a pro license. So the purpose of the pro license is to give users the ability to share and with one another within the organization. So we allocated her a license, and then she was able to consume the report or use the report. The third step, or the third part of this webinar, is I want to explain how you can use the collaborative methods or the collaborative factors within Power BI. How you can share or leave comments on certain reports or certain features or metrics within Power BI. So first thing is first, I'm going to have to log out as Gillian. I'm just going to log in as administrator again. And I'm going to explain to you how we can collaborate with one another based on data in Power BI app. Then I'm going to say sign in. I'm going to sign in with my admin account. And I'm going to go to my workspaces, and I'm going to go to that demo dashboard workspace. And as you can see, there is a dashboard now. So first thing is I have to add Julian again as a member. I just have to add her again because I want to start a conversation with her as well based on the data. I'm just quickly going to add her. I should have removed it just now. Let me just quickly add. She's a member. Just wait for this thing to save. And I'm going to show how easy it is to start communicating or collaborating with one another with Power BI. So in the reports on the Cache Manager, I was going to create my own dashboard. What I mean by dashboard is I can take various tiles or various visualizations and summarize all the pages into one nice page, a holistic view or high-level view of what is happening. So I've already pre-populated one, and I just called it the Cache Manager Summary. And this is what I would like to see. Or this is what Gillian would like to see because she's an intermediate user, so she won't be able to create her own dashboard. So I, as the developer, created this dashboard from her requirement. Now I can see that this is what she's going to be viewing when she enters. This is what she would like to see on a high level if she was an intermediate user. But now there's more features that you can apply to it. You can click on more options. Every single tile has its added or metadata that you can apply to it. So I can say add a comment. So now I can start a conversation based on this data. So maybe I do not want to work with cache expected. I would like to work with cache value in 60 days, add comment. So if I were Francois now, and I would say, okay, and I can ask her, hi, Gillian, is this figure correct? I remember from the last meeting we had, it was 2.1 million. Do that, 2.1 million. Now I can leave a question mark and I can post it. Now, what's going to happen now is it's going to show little notifications there. So now that I've posted this, I can go and I'm going to log in as Gillian because I'm referring it to Gillian now. And you can also do the @ sign as well. I forgot to put the @ sign there. So what does that mean if I do the @ sign? The @ sign is going to give you notifications as well as you can set up email notifications. Say that, listen, Francois just sent you a message. So I'm going to log in as Gillian now. And now if I go to the workspaces again, you can see that I've added her there. I can click on demo dashboards and oh, there's a notification. Let's see what it is. Demo dashboard cache summary has been added to the demo dashboard. So it's notifying me that I was added there. And now if I go to the cache summary, it shows a little icon there, a little conversation icon. And now if I click on it, I can see that Francois just sent me a message. And I can see that, hi, Gillian, is the figure correct? I remember. And then I can say, hi, at Francois. Yes. Yes, the figure is correct. Displaying on the dashboard. And now when I post this, it will come to me. And now it's going to notify me because I've been tagged. And when I log in, it will show that Francois Murray, you have received a new conversation from Gillian. So this is a great way of talking to one another within your organization on what's happening with the data. And then you can quickly rectify mistakes. So let's say I did make a mistake. Gillian told me, yes, Francois, it is actually 2.1. You maybe excluded this one account that needs to be added, or this one that needs to be connected or extended. Now, also very cool or very nice feature is this can also be applied to the mobile app. So when you create your report or dashboard that can be published to the mobile app, the same features still apply. I can also start a conversation on my mobile and everything will be published and pushed to the cloud. So what makes Power BI very great for collaboration is it's connected through your devices as well. So it's not necessarily that you have to be within the desktop mode or on your laptop into the browser and access it. I can push notifications to Gillian's phone as well now, and she can reply to me like that. So it's one collaborative cloud environment for your reporting solutions. And that is why we decided on Power BI, because it's very, very simple and powerful. So just to summarize what we've discussed today is how to access the report within the cloud. Just going to recap. To access the reports in the cloud, once you've done publishing it or creating it within your desktop application of Power BI, make sure that you log into the correct Office 365 tenant. Click on the publish. Make sure the correct workspace has been created on your Power BI portal and then publish it. It will take a few seconds or minutes depending on the internet speed and the size of the file. Then when you log into the portal, you can click on, I'm just going to go to the home page, and you can click on your workspaces, and you can click on demo dashboards. And then you'll see everything that has been allocated within the dashboard you will have access to. And then you can see all your reports that have been published. Then, of course, it's going to be the sharing capabilities or the sharing power of Power BI. And there are 3 levels that we've determined. It's your developer rights, which is your full admin rights. They can do everything. They can download the reports. They can create dashboards. They can do basically everything that Power BI has the capabilities of doing. You've got the intermediate rights, which is they'll have access to all the reports within the workspace, but they won't be able to into a dashboard, or they won't be able to download the file. And then you get your end user rights, which is, of course, your apps, whereby I only selected a certain amount of reports that they can view within that app. So those are the types of rights. My recommendation always is let the developers maintain and manage the portal, create the reports, and publish everything based on your requirements. Create certain workspaces for the intermediate right users. So let's say finance and HR, and they want various reports within it, give them those reports. Because you can also still work with the rights within the members that you allocate. And let's say you only want one person to view one report, create an application. And you can also remember distribute certain applications to the entire organization. Like the example I used, if you created a very cool timesheet report and you know that everybody would like this, publish it to the entire organization and give them the capabilities of downloading and consuming it. And then lastly, if you do not have a Power BI Pro license, you will get a pop-up message like this. It will tell you that this feature is only available for users with a Pro license. So because I wanted to share and collaborate with Gillian, she did not have a Pro license. It will display demo dashboards, but as soon as I click on it, it will tell me I need a Pro license. So that's the main, that is very, very important to keep in consideration, is the Pro license of Power BI. Main sole purpose is, of course, to be able to share reports and get reports from various people in the organization. Thank you, everybody.